This example is taken from the textbook by Bassi, and it's a formula for calculating an approximate charge of a protein at physiological pH. So the idea is that you start out by a slight negative value, and this is, I suppose, a multiple of the electron charge, and then you add standard values for each amino acid according to how ionized on the average each amino acid is at that pH. And these are the amino acids that are actually ionized or partly ionized, and this is the charge they contribute to the protein. So all that you have to do is basically scan the protein sequence and add the corresponding charges for all of them. So let's see how this is coded in the form of a function. Here is our prototype for the function, so the kind of declaration of the function, and the name is procharge, and we see we pass in the amino acid sequences. So the code just does what I've explained here above. So it first of all converts the string to uppercase, and then we start from the small negative charge here that's recommended as a correction factor. And then this is a dictionary with a charge of the individual amino acids, and what you do is you go over the sequence. So for each amino acid in the sequence, you sum to the charge either the charge contributed by that amino acid, if the amino acid is indeed one of those that appear in this dictionary, or 0, because if the amino acid is not in that dictionary, then it means it is not ionized, and so its charge is 0. So if AI is not a valid key in the dictionary, get returns the default value of 0, and that's just fine for us because we add 0 to the charge. You will have noticed that this is the accumulator technique again, so the same that we use when computing the sum of a list of numbers, except that here we start from a slightly negative value, and then we sum the individual charges of the amino acids. And in the end, when we have this variable computed, we can just return it to the main program. So these are two test calls to the function. And you see, this one is a bit like those that we've seen before. So we're passing in a constant. Before we were saying, okay, maltable, compute a maltable, for instance, on 9, that's again a constant that we're passing in, but nobody says that we're limited to passing constants. Of course, we can pass variables. So if the sequence is long, maybe we're reading it from a file, we have it in a variable, we can pass that variable to our function. And that will work just fine. And obviously, the name of this variable does not need to be the same as the name of that parameter. So whatever is written here, whatever is the value of this seq variable, will appear within the function as a seq. And this is the result of running that code.